Now what will Rimuru do now? After being attacked by the ogres and, granted, showing them quite how powerful he is, it's safe to assume that we have gathered ourselves a few more loyal subjects. And it's always nice to see Rimuru taking strides as a leader. Maybe with this extra boost in power, there'll be a step towards taking down the evils of the world, like that summoner dude. But of course, one step at a time. Still got to figure out the thing with the orcs and that other magi. So let's go. I've got to at least learn the beginning few words of this. And for some reason I've recently stepped up my learning regime, but kanji is still... I've almost got what, like, grade school students know. Not really anything to brag about though, is it? Are we also about to be shown the ogre's evolution stage? Because he's probably going to name them, isn't he? And of course, yeah, you still got the lingering regret of Shizu. That one goblin. Nice. Are they all waiting for the go-ahead? You've got to create something for your lord's first meal. Mm-hmm. Is it just good because you haven't actually tasted anything, or is it actually good? I don't think they would have many seasonings for the meat. I could be incredibly wrong, though. Forcefully entering himself into conversations there. Good old Gobter. And such a weak race was obviously given some backing, weren't they? And with fire. A bit better than the Overlord CGI. So the orcs had some understanding of metallurgy there. I don't think they could loot armor that would fit their proportions. And you got that mask confused with Rimuru's? I'm surprised Gobda didn't stab himself trying to eat from a skewer. So demon lords are behind. Well, who's that person behind the tree? And demon lords being behind issues is something to expect at this point. Well, if Rimuru's on pleasant terms with anyone, the goblins are going to take a liking to them. Ah, that's who was behind the tree. I'll take that as a no. He's giving you a good deal here. Well, they would also need the protection of the ogres. They need everyone they can get at this point. I wonder how much of a powerhouse Gobtra is going to be around negotiation tables. Is this conversation above him? Sure, and run it past all of the others as well. Must be nice to have this kind of, well, nice and a bit sad to have this kind of festival atmosphere after what they've been through. Was he always the leader, or was he just the de facto leader now after the village burnt? I can't remember if that was mentioned. And you have acknowledged the rumor as being strong, so if that's what they want. The time that they spend together is probably going to cement his ideals. And this new union between the village and the ogres. Quick change. Rimmer is a good leader, isn't he? Even if it is kind of incidental, some of the things that he's achieved. He's aware of that after the trouble he's gone through with naming some of the others. But sure, there's less of them, but their power levels already are probably quite a bit. Well, we've seen quite a bit higher than average goblins, even advanced goblins, hobgoblins. How long is Rimuru going to be out for now? A week? He didn't get even to the name stage, did he? Oh, okay. Forgotten them already, have you? And forgotten the names. Benimaru. A bit, not too bad. It's better than some of the names, like just goblin with various. So all of his aspects a bit more. Well, yeah, I think someone said it in the comment section, but humanesque. Did she have face paint or whatever it is before? Yes. Their horns also look a lot less intrusive now. He didn't change and look really, well, how much the goblin elder changed. Well, I'm glad that went relatively fine. So it was as I thought, yes. Did he inquire into it, though? So, is he going to change drastically, though? Going to be something different to the others? Looks rather regular now. Bisojo. Have you got finally a guy you can relate to? I understand that. Find someone average. Then you don't have to be constantly chasing in their footsteps. Are the lizard people there scouting slash hiding from the orcs? Or working with them? Oop. Scouting. Do you? Well, okay, they're underestimating the orcs because we saw how they were called like a weak race, but would lizard men need hair. It's quite a few. Raiding, pillaging. Since the orc in the desert was starved, and with the promise of food, that's how he got him under his control. Are they kind of keeping all of the orcs then in a constant state of on the verge of starvation? That would give them the motivation to continue attacking. It might be best just to hide yourselves away for the time being. Strange ability, but okay. Why does the female lizard man have such a small mouth in comparison? Do we have an arrogant... Ah, he's been given a name. Fair enough, I can sense why he feel superior. Are any of them... Seems kind of unfair to have Gobter in that group there, but... It is a good idea, though. You saw how good of a swordsman he was, so yeah, use their abilities to your advantage. Mhm. You see, that's been said twice now. So, what, it basically gives all the orcs around him, just makes them unbreakable, so they'll never lose morale. Did they refuse? They refused his generous offer, and so they were wiped out. We've seen that countless times before. But since he kind of got to know Rimuru and saw that he was trustworthy, just go through all of the not options there. I couldn't remember. So did he name that goblin and then just think, not powerful enough, toss him aside? Good work. Have you thought of consolidating with the other goblins? Maybe expanding too fast would be a bad idea, though. Yeah, sure, I understand you've got pride, but when you're heavily outnumbered, there's hope for him yet. I would quite like to see all of their comments after they come into contact with Rimuru, but might be going a bit fast there. And of course, giving the underlings giving you a false sense of, well, maybe not false, but overinflated ego. Sure, if you managed to do it, that would be quite a tremendous achievement. If there's a named being like this lizard man, can Rimuru override that and give him like a new name? Is there a process like that? I'm glad I don't have to name things. I'm terrible with names. Plus, with how many goblins was it? A couple of hundred? I definitely would have been bored halfway through and just kind of resorted to how I used to name things in old games. They were not flattering. It's nice to see Rimuru and the village expanding and enlisting the aid of, I would say, quite powerful allies. But what's going to happen with these demon lords? I mean, after it was built up, I'd be surprised if Gabriel wasn't going to make an announcement and an entrance into the Rimuru's village. But what is this? I've forgotten his name already. Gelden? What's their plan? Because we've seen that they gave a name to the other goblin and then didn't do anything with it. Was always going through the Ogre village and offered names there. So why is it now that he's using the horde of orcs as an army? Was it that the goblins were too weak, the ogres turned them down, and the orcs was the only good alternative? Or did he only think of the domination plan after he had already forgotten about the goblins? How many races are going to join up with the village? You've got the goblins, who are just the general villagers, aren't they? You've got the craft department being the dwarves. General security, I'm guessing, goes to the ogres. Well, and the wolves. Quite a nice multicultural city he's building, isn't it? And considering there's other goblin villages and whatnot, is there other big cities of monsters that have formed? That'd be interesting to see. And if you want to make sure that you see it as well, then subscribing to the channel means you won't miss anything. And if you liked the episode, please let me know down below in the comments section or by liking the video. Both of which gets your point across and makes me a happy boy. This has been a fun one. You better get some rest so that I can see you in the next one. It's that time once again. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching, because if you didn't, it would just be some moron on the internet rambling about. Well, actually that's what it is anyway, but still, thank you. And a special thanks to my Patreons, Flawed Taku, Sal, Raywin, Denamet1997, and Juris. And of course, all of the others. You guys have a special place in my heart, and I thank you for it. And so, until the next one, truly, thank you.